Hey guys, thanks for coming back for more Baritone Ukulele. My name's Tony from ImGonnaUke, and this is lesson number 2 of beginner baritone for ukulele players. So if you already know how to play the standard uke, but you want to learn how to play the baritone ukulele, then this lesson's for you. So go grab your baritone, because I think we're going to uke. If you remember last time, we learned a little bit about the baritone, and when learning to play the baritone, I want you to treat it as a brand new instrument and not try to force chords from the standard uke onto the baritone, but rather focus on the shapes of the chords themselves rather than the chord names. And I'll explain more what I mean in just a few minutes. But if you remember, in the last lesson, we learned a few common chords to get started. So in this lesson, we're going to quickly learn all the other natural major chords and most of the minor chords that you'll practically need to play most songs. Now, since you already know how to play the standard uke, like the soprano, concert, or tenor sizes, with the standard tuning of G, C, E, A, you might not realize it, but your hands and your fingers already know how to play the baritone. So now we just need to convince your brain as well that you already know how to play it. So when learning the baritone uke, you don't need to learn any new shapes at all, which should be a really good relief because you already know them. So all we need to learn is actually the chord voicings of those shapes on the neck of the baritone. And now remember, the baritone is tuned D, G, B, E, but more importantly, the baritone is 5 notes lower than the standard uke. So whatever shapes or chord shapes you make on the standard uke, if you count backwards down the musical alphabet 5 frets or 5 notes, then you'll find out what chord that same shape makes on the baritone. So let me show you an example with E major. So we're going to play our E major with our first finger on the 3rd string, 1st fret, our second finger on the 4th string, 2nd fret. Or think of it as 2, 1, 0, 0. And you might be thinking, wait, this is an A major, isn't it? Well, it has the same shape, but remember what I said earlier about learning and understanding that the shapes are not fixed to certain chords. It all depends where you move that shape. So if I were to move this shape up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, now this is an A major. It's the same shape, but it's an A major. So in fact, everything from the 5th fret and below is just like a standard tune uke. And if you bar the 5th fret, that's our G, C, E, A. Well, this would be a low G tuning, but that's G, C, E, A. So if I play a major on a standard tune uke down here, and then count backwards down the musical alphabet from A flat, G, G flat, F, E. Right? So that's how I can figure it out. This is important to understand because if you ever get stuck learning chords on the baritone, just count 5 notes up, like from E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A, and then you can figure out, because you already know how to play the chord on a standard uke, then you can figure out how to play that same chord on the baritone. Let's say you wanted to know how to play a D7 on the baritone, but you didn't know how. So let's count up 5 notes from D7. So we have D sharp 7, E7, F7, F sharp 7, and G7. Now we know how to play G7 on the standard uke, which is down here. So if we pretend that our 5th fret is kind of like the nut of a standard tune uke, we could play G7 like this. So we would have G7, F sharp 7, F7, E7, D sharp 7, now D7. And now that you're at the 1st fret, you don't need to bar anymore. So you could switch your fingers around and play it like this, kind of the usual way. But this is a D7 on the baritone. All right, now let's quickly move on to A major, which is like this. We have our 2nd, 3rd, and 4th finger all on the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string, all on the 2nd fret, or it's 2, 2, 2, 0. That's our A major. Now, I want you to try to play it with your 2nd, 3rd, and 4th finger. I know a lot of uke players do play it with your 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, but try to do it with your 2nd, 3rd, and 4th finger. And I'll show you why in a minute. All right, next we're going to learn our B major, where our B major is 4, 4, 4, 2. So let's use our 2nd, 3rd, and 4th finger on the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string, all on the 4th fret. And now let's put our 1st finger on that 1st string on the 2nd fret. So if you notice, the shape of our B major is the same shape as our A major, just B major is slid up 2 frets. That's why I wanted you to use these 3 fingers. Let's move on to F major, which is like this. So it's 3, 2, 1, 1. We're going to put our 1st finger and kind of half bar or cover the 1st and 2nd string on that 1st fret. Put our 2nd finger on the 3rd string, the 2nd fret. Put our 3rd finger on the 4th string on the 3rd fret. So your finger should remember this shape, but here the voicing is an F major. That's all the natural major chords. Now let's learn some of the common minor chords. Now earlier we learned an E major like this, and we know that an E major is the same shape as an A major. And we remember, playing the standard uke, remember that an A major is very close to an A minor. So if we could guess what's an E minor, you probably can guess that if we're playing an E major here, an E minor would be this, right? 2, 0, 0, 0. So let's put our second finger on that 4th string on the 2nd fret for our E minor. All right, next we're going to learn A minor, but first I want you to play A major like this up here. Now we're going to switch this shape to another common shape of 2, 2, 1, 0. So as our 2nd and 3rd finger are on the 3rd and 4th string on 2nd fret, and our 1st finger is on that 2nd string, 1st fret. Now this is an A minor. Now it's more obvious when you switch from the A major to A minor to see that the difference between a major and a minor chord is really just one note. And actually I have a whole lesson explaining how you can figure out every chord, every major and minor chord using a secret formula. So if you're interested, maybe check out that video after this one. And if you haven't done so already, go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel. Alright, now let's go on and learn B minor. Now earlier we learned B major like this. So if you remember this shape that we did with A, you can probably guess B minor is this shape. Alright, 4, 4, 3, 2. Now if you can, it's kind of a pro tip, but if you can, anytime that you can bar, play that bar instead. Okay? And now it's more obvious how the B minor is the same shape as the A minor. Just 2 frets apart. Alright, next let's learn a C sharp minor, which is like this. So let's play it 2, 1, 2, 0. So that's our 1st finger on the 3rd string, 1st fret. We're going to put our 2nd finger on the 4th string and our 3rd finger on the 2nd string, both on the 2nd fret. It's a C sharp minor. Now you might be thinking, wait a minute, we just played an A minor and a B minor. We played an A minor like this, a B minor like this. Couldn't we play a C sharp minor like this? Yes, you can. All right, next we have a D minor, which you can play it this way, but we're going to learn the more common first position up here. So it's our 1st finger on the 1st string, 1st fret, 2nd finger on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, and our 3rd finger on the 2nd string, 3rd fret. So this shape also should feel familiar to you. This is a D minor. And the last common minor chord that we're going to learn in this lesson is an F minor. So we're going to bar the whole 1st fret and put our 3rd finger on the 4th string on the 3rd fret. So it's a 3, 1, 1, 1. So you can play it like a bar chord. Now, just a minute ago, we learned how to play an F major like this. So you can also bar an F major and play it like this. So the actual notes that you're playing are still the same, but if you're able to bar it, please bar it. It'll strengthen your hand, your fingers, and it gets you one step closer to really unlocking the fretboard and the magic of movable closed chords. Hey, if you're getting something out of this lesson, I hope you're learning something. Do give me a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. It lets me know that you're enjoying these lessons, and actually it helps the YouTube algorithm and helps other ukulele players just like you help find these free lessons. Well, that's it for all the 2nd lesson for beginner baritone for ukulele players. If you do have any questions, go ahead and post them in the comment section. Let me know. And if you'd like to connect with me on social media, I'll have all my links in the description box below. And if you'd like to support the channel, there's ways you can do that too. So I'll leave all those links and everything in the description box. Well, until next time, have fun playing, God bless, and I'll catch you in the next one.